Thank you. New tonight, a Marine Corps veteran is biking across America to raise support for the Wounded Warrior Project and to honor one of his friends who died last year. Photojournalist Kevin Reynolds introduces us to Nick Novotny.
I'm doing it for Wounded Warrior Project, and I'm also doing it for a friend of mine, Corporal James Curry. He passed away last year due to just struggles with alcohol and alcoholism in general. And it's kind of to bring up a larger paint a bigger picture of mental health. There were two guys from my hometown that actually did something similar to this. They biked across America for respective charities, and I thought to myself, what better way to create like an impact by doing something a little bit abnormal and not something you see every day, and doing it solo too, because I figured as far as mental health, there's a lot of mental things that go into just pedaling a bicycle for hours a day. I actually bought my bike at the end of March back at a bike shop in New Jersey. I trained for about 2 months just to acclimate my body to what it was going to feel like to be sitting in the chair all day and be pedaling, and what it was going to feel like. Granted, New Jersey does not have the same elevation as Colorado, as Wyoming, all these states have, so I was a little bit behind the curve there, but obviously as I've crossed over into all these states, I've gotten my training there. I'm taking the Trans-America Trail, so anybody familiar with that knows that starts in Astoria and ends in Yorktown. I have a modified version. Obviously the heat wave that hit Oregon, Idaho, and Montana, that huge heat dome you guys had, that was like my first week of biking. Then of course the fires in Idaho and Montana, I had to do a lot of rerouting and traversing. So there's been just a lot of bumps in the road. And I'll be honest, when I'm on the road, since most of the Trans Am's virtually desolate, I talk to myself a little bit. I'm like, hey, you can do this, you got this. I try to give myself that positive reinforcement that goes through, I plant those thoughts in my subconscious, and then hopefully that, usually comes to fruition when I do those things. I'm not saying you have to bike across America, but finding those healthy outlets. A lot of times I think in society, especially with the, pandemic as well, I think people, were led to some maybe not so good outlets during the pandemic, and this is a good way to get yourself a little bit uncomfortable, get yourself out of your element and do something that really challenges you, because ultimately at the end of that challenge, I think you're going to have a better version of you in the end.